that, they're fooling you. But we don't care. We are not a community who want to stand out in life that we are always pursuing the truth. There are a few things I shared with the world last week. I introduced why the Qur'an came. And I mentioned that the main purpose of the Qur'an and all revelations to previous messengers was not that people will sing it. Singing is a big thing. I know singing is very nice for the emotional, for warming the hearts. People sing in Hindi, people sing in Afrikaans, people sing in Urdu, people sing in Punjabi or in Bengali or in English. You can't stop singing. But what does singing do? Singing just gives you emotional happiness, satisfaction, comfort. Singing will not really help you if that's the main thing of your life. To some people, to sing the Qur'an is a big thing. The Qur'an didn't come for singing. That's your doing, who's singing. The Qur'an came, hudan linnas. Chapter 2, 183. The Qur'an came as hudan linnas. Not hudan lil Muslimin. If Muslims fail to gravitate to the Qur'an, other nations should be exposed to it. But the danger of Muslims, there's such a community, they feel they're the best, although they don't have the track records to show anything that they are outstanding. This Qur'an is for all people. Hudan linnas, a guidance to all people. وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِّنَ الْهُدَى, and meticulous classifications and expositions of the guidance. Anybody who says that the Qur'an is not self-explanatory is committing one of the greatest crimes against divine loftiness. Can you imagine that people have the audacity to say that the Qur'an is not clear? If you want to remain in the kindergarten level of your life, how can you understand the superlative vision of the Qur'an? The average Muslim doesn't have time, right? But the average Muslim wants to have a say about the Qur'an. The average Muslim doesn't have time. 9 out of 10 Muslims, they are not part of learning. Disciplined learning, they are not. When they feel like asking a question, they ask a question. Why? Because this community is like all other communities, is cultivated on the grounds of religion. It's not cultivated on the grounds of disciplined learning for living. You can pick up the phone, you can call any Maulana, any Mufti, any Sheikh, any scholar, any crack, half-baked person who talks about Islam and teaches Islam. Because anything goes. The requirement is not for disciplined learning based on evidence, sense, and conviction of empowerment. And that is why if you talk to Muslims from all over this world, you get a variety of what they understand and what they don't understand. Because why? 9 out of 10 Muslims only claim that they love this Qur'an. They have not demonstrated commitment for it. You will hear those regulars. Those regulars will tell the world that the Prophet of God got the first revelation, so they claim, and the first word was to read, and to study, and to learn, and to analyze, and to introspect, and to form intelligent conclusion. You will find they believe this. Isn't this what the teachers teach us? But how many of those who teach are part of learning? Right? How many of those who teach continue to learn in a disciplined way? one of the biggest problems in the communities where people are is that learning is not seen to be something that is an ongoing part of somebody's life. And anytime you stop learning, you stop being relevant. Anytime you stop learning, you stop being relevant. But if you have people who are irrelevant to the challenges of society, educating society, you get exactly what you get. You get a community that comes alive when somebody is born. You get a community that comes alive when somebody is married, right? You get a community that comes alive when somebody is dead, or comes alive when somebody has a birthday. Because why? The main focus is not learning. Qur'an is about learning. Qur'an is about learning. Hudan linnas. It must become a book of guidance for all people. Because if you fail to adopt the strategies for living, perhaps others will. But what Muslims have successfully done, they themselves have abandoned the Qur'an and they've made it very difficult for non-Muslims to even understand the Qur'an. Because their translations of the Qur'an does not even stimulate them to lofty living. And that is why when non-Muslims read the Qur'an, generally speaking, the kind of translations we have, the Qur'an talks a lot about killing. That's the translation. And 9 out of 10 of you were happy with this. 9 out of 10 of you were happy with this. You like this. And many groups rationalize this. They use this as the opportunity to unleash their venom on others. We are not a community committed to learning. That's the sad fact. But every 2 Muslims, they have 3 opinions. Because we were brought up that we could push our mouth into something without having the scientific knowledge about it, the substantial knowledge about it. And that's what I said. I said Ramadan to most people is a month of fasting, staying away from food. But if I told you that Ramadan was there before the Qur'an and the Prophet, and it had nothing to do with staying away from food and drink. Staying away from food and drink may have personal benefits to you or anyone, but there's a bigger need and responsibility. Saum has a deeper meaning. Ask yourself, all these years in your life, in our lives, we were brought up to stay away from food and drink. Have we become muttaqi? Have we become people of taqwa? Can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I've become a person of taqwa because I stayed away from food and drink? Can you look at your children in the eyes and said, I've become a muttaqi because I've stayed away from food and drink? And they can say to themselves and their fellow human beings, we are people of taqwa because we stayed away from food and drink? The problem with Muslims, they are not students of the Qur'an, and they take the interpretations that were given, especially after the beloved Prophet. Because in the time of the Prophet, there was no other book to explain the Qur'an. It was until 250 years after his death that books start to surface, and people abandon the Qur'an, like 9 out of 10 Muslims. 9 out of 10 Muslims in any gathering have abandoned the Qur'an. And this is with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, youngsters, male and female, organizers, heads of organizations, leaders of communities. This is the biggest issue. The Qur'an didn't come for you and I to prattle it. The Qur'an came hudan linnas. And last week I shared a few thoughts about the Qur'an. Among them, what I told myself and I told you in the world is which you don't normally hear Muslims talking about. Because if they say that, they'll